been? Back into it. Oh boy, that hair is lovely. Alright, this hair is not long for the world. It will be... It'll always grow. But not much longer. It needs a culling. It'll happen before or after Halloween. We'll see. I'll try on some of the Halloween costumes that we've got ordered. Yeah, I think I overstepped it too much with some of these hairs on Link's head. Just a little... He looks a little bit like he had a roll in the hay. I'm not sure that's the... that's quite the thing. A little bit too much of that. Well, what layer is that? How can I undo what I've done? Yeesh. That was kind of cool to see. That's the sort of highlight pass I did on his face there. That's interesting. I don't like how all my layers are improperly labeled. Come on. Fun as it is to see Link with a little bit of ye old sex face. Let's dial that back a bit. Just a little too many flyaways. Because, I mean, if his hair is, like, sweaty and greasy, then it's gonna matte a bit, you know? That's less disturbing. Okay, and there's something else. Now, sometimes this is about recognizing when you had it right the first time. There's sections of what I did that weren't all that bad. A lot of the hair had some darks, and the hair can get quite dark. So let's bring that back. That includes areas like eyelashes. The dark inside the nostrils and in the corner of the lips. Don't need to make big moves, but I want that back a bit. Cement that connection. Here too. I'm gonna go for an hour and 15 or so, hour and 20. It's feeling a little better. Can I get... Is it weird to want to chase down? How is it possible? How can we get some of that subsurface scattering? Does it work like this? I mean, the fire isn't going to be very bright, but maybe some. I'm okay with that. Not too much, you know. Okay, ears can be very greasy. Don't want to overdo it, but... It's at this point that I pay for straddling decisions when my line work early on should have been clear about stuff. very pretty here. I'm okay with that. No weird. Oh. Give him some damage. Went all weekend without a single email or notification, then it's all flooding in right now. It's not what I want. There, it's making it clear. Poor guy's all jacked up. Got like mud in his mouth. It's basically road pizza. Looks like he got dragged by a spider. Some mud in the hair. Dirty ass ears. And like theoretically the mud could have a color, but I'm just using black. In the dim light, I think black is sufficient. Totally feels plausible, like a, you know, they're on the side of a mountain, volcanic mud, could be anything. It's like applying movie makeup. You know, I'm gonna make it clear, he needs the help. Poor guy needs a hot bath. sort of get it peppered in there, but there's an art to it, you know, just to sort of feel like it tells a story. That story is Link got his ass kicked. Hey, Jules. Slapping a bunch of mud and grime on this guy. I didn't expect it to have as much of an effect as it seems. Now it really feels like, okay. Sort of getting the impression of why the help is so needed, why he needs the help. Nuzokara, how are you doing? Alrighty, well, welcome back. I'm adding some icky ookity grime to our hero here, make him a little less beautiful. Just getting some kind of what might be causing issues. Quit out of Chrome. Maybe that'll make a difference. You'll quit out of that too. I must free up my resources. Been rewatching. Yeah, I'm here for a distraction. Let me distract you from the trials and tribulations of the world. Nuzakaro says, been rewatching your VODs a bit from that last stream. Is that the one I did this morning? Depending, because I usually post to YouTube about a day and a half late. So if you're watching from... I mean, you have access to Twitch, obviously. Jules is dying right now. I'm reading a book written in Old English and translating it. Ye Old English. That's, it's gotta be brutal. That's like Canterbury Tales stuff, I'm sure. we've got this I don't understand letters anymore. The mud I'm adding onto Link is it's reminding me of, we've got this, I mean, it's pretty cool. We've got this, it's a thing anybody can have. They cost a couple $100, but it's good value for the money when you have kids. There's on Amazon you can order miniature bounce houses. These things are like inflatable. You just plug it into a power outlet and you have this bounce house that's, you know, 10 foot wide by 10 foot wide and, you know, maybe 6 feet tall. And it's nothing like an adult could use, but if you're like a little kid, it's like your own personal bounce heaven. And it's a lot of fun. So what I took to the habit of leaving it outside, because during the summertime we used to fill it with water. The kids would jump in and bounce, do so much fun stuff, and it was like, well, why should we even take it down? I'll just leave it there on the grass. Well, what ends up happening is the kids get in and out of it. The water from the bounce house gets on their feet. They're running around on the grass, makes it muddy. Then they get back in the bounce house. So the bounce house becomes muddy and the grass becomes waterlogged and muddy. And the grass underneath the bounce house dies because it's not getting enough sun and oxygen and getting too much water. This is like too much. I'm over-indexing on the grime, but that's okay. It's okay for now. We can dial it back later. Anyway, so when I do finally put it away, like yesterday, I busted it out because my kids had friends over, and I put it away, and just like folding this thing down when it's out of air, it's like wrestling a big tarp, a big muddy tarp. And it gets mud everywhere, all over my body. It gets on my face and my hair. So it was good research for this. Even get a little mud on the jar. The fairy herself can be pristine. She's protected by the bottle, so she doesn't get muddy or have any issues. Yeah, we can have a round of applause for Kiki. Here we go. Yes, anybody who's caught up on the VODs will have heard that by now. We are very happy about. It's interesting. My wife reminded me. I was like, I should not be getting ahead of myself in terms of assuming that we can think of life as long again necessarily. There are going to be lifetime. It'll be a lifetime of complications in the best of circumstances. But it looks like what we're looking at is something like that, as opposed to the worst possible scenario, which would be horrible. But it's interesting. They were actually going to the hospital today to talk to the doctors to get the confirmation of the results. Because we got the results in like an email app that we can access, that's not the official. It's not the official thing. bring in some of that. Newso says, there's a military advertisement my brother sent me, and I found it fascinating how they use storytelling. Interesting. And yes, Kiki is a warrior. She's a survivor. How are they using... I mean, everything... advertising is all about telling stories, I guess. It's tricky. I think it was used for the British Army, and most of the time there was always someone to look for when telling us a story with people of their choice for using the boot throughout the journey that the military member goes through with the boot. From day one boot camp to their first duty station, going through the first tour. Yeah, I've also often I've heard my directors talk about it. They talk about the POV, like the point of view. Very often, my directors are troubled or confused by their own stories, and it's easy to yeah, the stuff. Same thing with that Dasani water bottle. Something that simple can have a story. Yeah. Where does it come from? I had a commercial one time where it was all about where does a Heineken bottle come from? You know. The origin. Boxer's in the chat. Hey, man. Haven't seen you in a bit. Hope you're doing good, man. Okay, you're home. Something happened? Anyway, hope all is well. It's Indigenous Peoples Day. That's correct. Yes. Now, do you actually have the day off, or they just let you work from home? As a freelancer, I hate holidays because I need to work every damn day. And what ends up happening is the clients use extended weekends as basically everything gets set back a day, which is really tricky because it's like 1 week that has a holiday in it can mean that I don't work for like a week and a half almost. Because it interrupts the clients, like advertising companies and brands, they have their own flow about things, and then clients have their own flow about things. The people that hire me, or advertising companies, they have their own flow about things, and then employees, like the people who actually do the work, have their own flow about things. But when holidays happen, it basically resets it all to zero, and then depending on where you are in the chain, it can be very difficult. Like if you're an employee at somewhere, it doesn't matter. But as a freelancer, I rely on like the demand for the work that I do to come in, and that is predicated on my client needs, and my client needs are predicated on the the advertising and the branding companies needs. When those things get reset to 0, it takes a long time for them to get started up again. Marcia says, but there were like no crews going on, so I just handled some deliveries that were happening and one estimate checked and was able to go home. That's it. Easy day, I guess. I can't use the easy times. I need I get hired when clients are like shitting their pants, not knowing how they're gonna come up with these artistic mandates they have. They need the art by a deadline. They don't know who else can do it. That's when they give old Maxie a call. But if it's a big old holiday, it's like, cool, we'll get around to it. Okay. Let me dig into this Faerie a bit. There's stuff going on here. Somehow she seems more luminous. And maybe it's because there's this fun outer glowing line. I want that luminosity. It's tricky. Here. I gotta remember to save. Maybe neon the purple outline? Maybe. ABS, always be saving, yeah. Well, I feel like I've over-indexed too much on the brightness, and so she just feels like flatly bright. And I'm not saying it's like wrong or bad, but I feel like I can do more to call this letter the doit. All right, let's see here. No lens flare. Jesus. My bro caught me putting a lens flare on one of my compositions a while back, and he's like, what are you doing? Take that off. Get that shit off of there. I know, it was bad. Well, Nuzo gets me. It's like... one lens flare isn't enough. You need 2 lens flares. You only got 1 lens flare on there. You got to pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. Yeah. It may feel like, check this out. Don't check out J.A. Spender, whoever that is. I need to look at the Abyss creatures. The the Abyss movie. Or, like, here. Or here. Cancel everything. Well, like here. We can show some of these things. I apologize if some of these things are weird or disturbing. What I'm really trying to show is the, like how something can be dark, but also glowing, right? Bioluminescence, yeah. If I can bring in a tinge of that. Now, she's not an underwater deep creature. Kind of like how... maybe there's some way. Add some alpha to the wings. Like transparency, like you can see through it. Nah. I don't really want... nah, fuck that. I mean, it's not a bad idea, but all I really think it needs is a little rim light. That's Max saying, I didn't draw behind the wings. Absolutely. Yes, she is similar to the old sprite. Yes, the, we can... oh, we can do a little delving. Sprite, Legend of Zelda. There we go. Oh, they spelled it, there we go. Yes, I've sort of elongated her. Yeah, it's a similar design here. Well, it was always clear that, a little yassified. Spelled S-P-R-Y-T-E. Like she's spry. Pixie Dream Girl, exactly. And, you know, I like to honor my sources by not deviating too far. All right, you lurk. It's all good. Enter lurk phase. Activate lurk. I like the lurking announcements. Those are those help me to maintain my sanity. Attention, Isakar is now lurking. I didn't. Everybody, Boxer is a mod, so careful what you say, I suppose. Real modders know. Master mod. Going a little too far on some of these, or maybe not far enough. And who knows? Might have to sleep on some of these decisions. That's okay. Well, I certainly didn't overpower her. It's very unlike me, but there must have been a reason. You know, because it's not about sex. It's the interaction between them. It's like a healing moment. So I turned that one down from 11 to a subtle 4. That's cool. Straight up turn off the lines. I mean, I don't prefer it, but it's an option. They're already pretty low. Or make them stronger. Yeah, not that. It's too bright now. Do like messing around with this though. Can I blur that a bit? Give it an interesting effect. Let's try some other things. We've got a few interesting shading layers we could try bringing back. Sort of interesting. She can't be this bright though. She's too bright. She's sort of the main focus. It's sort of the... It's really like what's happening here. So there's this sort of... I wouldn't call it a... There's a little bit of like a spiral going in like this. Yeah, you're correct that the highlight colors need to sort of get drawn out in Link a bit more to match the brightness of the Faerie. And that may be something I can do somewhat artificially. If you don't want to make her brighter, make her colors more of an influence. Yes. I suspect you are right. I don't think I'm that far off. Yes. Yes. I don't know why you're talking shit, dude. I don't know why you're talking shit. Yeah, it should be possible for me to do that, actually. Let's look here. Okay, there are some... potentials here. Yeah, because the highlighting on his face was on a separate layer, it should be possible for me to... That's a little bit better. I think it's a little much. Just knock it back a little bit. Some of this is all good. Like, a lot of that is good. Like, it's not bad. Now what I kind of want to bring in is a little bit of the... yeah, the fire is its own... serious light source here. But secondary to the Faerie. Oh, and I don't want that happening. Okay. I'm not sure all my highlights and reflections are going exactly where they should be either. But I'm okay with taking a little risk there. Because the main read is what I want it to be. He looks like he got the shit kicked out of him, and he can barely see in front of him, and here's a Faerie to help him out. Maybe some of these. No, I like that. There's something happening here at the back of her head. What's happening there? What is that? Just a random spark where I didn't want it. Lollywobbles, welcome. It's been a while. Yeah, this is Link getting his after post booking. He's got his little ace up the sleeve, a little Faerie help him out. Woohoo, shouts. This is very nearly in the set it aside and sleep on it kind of realm. Audio was amazing today. Oh, thank you for saying. I've been trying. I've been trying. I've been giving non-zero efforts to slowly, incrementally improving the audio, with in no small part to Boxer helping me out. Yeah, it turns out all you got to do is make every mistake in the book, and you can slowly learn. You too can learn. Yeah. No, I've still got a long way to go with that stuff, but I can only do so much. Let's see here. These fairy sparkles, kind of, they need a little bit of organicness, so I'm gonna paint some in. I like drawing magical pixie dust. It's all about these little shapes and chevrons. If anybody ever asks you how you draw magic pixie dust, here's a little lesson for everybody today. These are the things you draw. You draw X's, crosses, basically math symbols. Like stuff like that. Like, no joke. You can get away with division signs, X's, O's. Things like this. Little dots, little circles. Dots with dots around them. You know, all that sort of stuff. PEMDAS. Oh, PEMDAS, yeah. So, here we go. And then feels right at home. And then I like the plus sign with the dots all around it. And then the X with the dots in between, like that, you know? It's like dithering, right? Those old, or like a dot with lines all around it. Before you know it, it's like something out of Fantasia. Oh, that's weird. It's a weird layer. Okay, so that's feeling okay. I wonder if I need, because it's like, I usually do too much of this, adding like some like haze or atmosphere. But I want to have maybe a little bit of something. Let's see what we can get away with. This whole, the layer ordering on this is a huge mess because of the fact that like Link is underneath the monster except for his arm, which is above it. So if I try to put not gas, but haze, atmosphere behind his head, it could very well go above his arm or something like that. It's hard to predict this stuff. Does that look cool if I add that back on? Yeah, that does. Really darkens the scene. These are shadow layers that I had sort of waiting around in the wings if they were needed. Now I don't want to completely obliterate them. A little extra is kind of cool. Yeah, it's been tricky to figure it out. If I can remind everybody of the original sketch here, it has a lot of, I think we've done a good job of like preserving the themes. Like the concept. But making it sort of come around as kind of realistic is because it's so punched in on and close on the characters and in the scene. It's like an intimate moment, so it really requires like getting in there with like textures, and that makes the light situation kind of crazy. And I don't know what I'm doing, so it's very a little bit nerve-wracking. I'm just trying to find a layer that I can put some atmosphere on. And now the question is, like, what color is it? What color is the atmosphere going to be? That's the wrong one. Let's see here. Okay, air pencil. This is my big airbrush. what is that doing? Oh, it's set to dissolve. That's strange. Yeah. Like, it makes sense, like, if there's, like, fire, right? That there's going to be a little bit of smoke. But all my layers are on such weird... It's almost like I have to put the smoke on the top layer and then cut Link out of it. I don't want it to be noticeable. Call it smoke for now. There's too much going on. I'm gonna go a few more minutes, and then will be a good idea for me to take a little break, probably for the rest of the day, because I got to get my kid from school and all that. Okay, so if I select the layer that has all of Link's fill lines on it, and I go to the smoke layer. And then you're vibing. You vibe with my parental duties. Okay, so I can erase out. That's not looking too bad. Erase out the section of the smoke that I want to. Smoke can stay on top of the areas that it can stay on top of. And get erased out of the areas that I don't want to. There's so many kids in your house right now. It's going to be insane on Halloween when we have everybody here. Boxer, are you coming to Halloween? If you're still there. He may have engaged lurk mode. It's not Halloween per se, but he's aware my wife is throwing a Halloween party for me on the 19th. So it's the run up to that. We're getting excited. Smoke and atmosphere. So much craziness going everywhere. Okay, there will be things that will happen though. Let's see here. Let's do a little bit of a step through, see ahead, see what's ahead. Don't mind some of that light coming in. Yeah, that's about the right effect. Okay. Now, this will be interesting. Let's bring this into Photoshop. Merged, paste, make a new version. This one, we can experiment with the levels of brightness. Now that's too much on the Faerie, but with everything else, just to see where I like it and where I don't. The lines around this bottle are a little too much. Blur gallery, here we go. Tilt shift. So this will be cool. Now this is not a whatever. This was in the plan. This isn't me phoning it in with a shitty lens flare at the last second. Something like this could be neat. Sort of gets the vibe. There we go. I'm going to do a save a version like this. Save it out as a JPEG so I can let it live on my desktop as a temporary wallpaper for a bit. That'll help me analyze the I'll be able to see and digest all the things that I'm not liking about it over time. It'll be something where I'll see it clearly, a little more clearly, so that I want to analyze that stuff before I post it. I really like it too. Like it is a it's so tricky, Lolly, to preserve the what the thing I was trying to, you know, when I was drunk almost a year ago and sketching this out and listening to this cool music and feeling the vibes that I was feeling then, is like, how do I there's this sort of like moment of stillness in the chaos. You know, there's all sorts of little tweaks I could do to it, but like really once it gets to like this point, there's not much that actually does need to get done. It just sort of, I just want to make sure I'm doing my due diligence by sleeping on a big decision. Like when you're saying something is final, like it's done, it's kind of a big decision, and I keep running in this thing where it's like I call it done. Yeah, I'm not drunk now, but when I had the idea of the thing, it was poetry, right? In vino veritas, right? You know, you got to get that stuff in there and tap into something. You know, when I was coming up with the idea, it almost had a tear in my eye. You know, it's sort of like a you know, the fairies sacrifice themselves in order to heal Link. It's not just it's you know, there's a a bit of a tender moment, a tender moment, you know. Can we achieve that in an action scene? Tiny things to tweak, but this is good. All right, so Lolly, you've been out a while. You haven't seen my my new regimen where I do my thumbnails, or maybe you have, but you've been lurking or something. But the thing I do is oops. How do I do this? No. Oh yeah, it's just the F button now. So I get in there, the split screen, and then I make a funny face at it, and then that's the thumbnail. It's like this. Or something silly like that, and then I put it on YouTube. So, okay, the stream is time to end the stream and get on with my other responsibilities. So, thank you everybody for joining. I really appreciate it. I will stream tomorrow morning, bright and early at 4 a.m. probably, if not earlier. Adios, indeed. Adios, everybody. Catch you next time. Thanks so much. Bye.